Check 1 2 1 2. Peace, peace. Oh shit. It's the Fluffy I choose to be happy. Fluffy I choose to be happy. Peace, peace, Dan. Is this a better time for y'all? Give me the thumbs up if it's a better time. Cool, cool. All right. Katia, this all right. We're gonna get to your questions. Once we do this, the topic lecture part, we're gonna get to your questions. So don't worry about that. Today I'm going to be talking about self-deification and antinomianism. I always butcher the word, but it's antinomianism. We're going to go into that deeply because I feel it's needed based upon some of the emails I get from individuals. And some of the questions I've received. So we're going to go deeper into that today. I was supposed to start at 3, but my dentist appointment finished early. Feeling good. I'm not numb or anything like that. You just had to put it in the crown. It's all good. It's in place. So decided to start early. Those who were thinking it was at 3 o'clock, they could come in at 3. Those who are early, we start rolling. Let them catch up. I'm just waiting for one more person to pop in. One more person pops in, we're going to start rolling. Just need one more person. All right. Smooth God is that 5th person we was waiting on. So let's get it popping. Today's topic, like I said, is self-deification and antinomianism. It was scheduled for 3, but like I said, dentist appointment finished early. I'm not numb or anything like that. They just had to pop in my crown. So good. So let's get it on and popping, and let's go in. First part. What is self-deification? Sounds nice, but what is it? According to some definitions, it's an individual awakening of the self and an existence separate from the collective universe on your own terms. So, from the left-hand path perspective, it is you, example, being Set, Suteth, Seth, slaying a pet, chaos. A pep is symbolic of chaos in ancient Kemet. Set learned to slay chaos, but not destroy it, but bring it under submission and under control. Why is that important? Because when you deify yourself, when you become a god over self, you understand that chaos is just as much a necessary part of the universe as order. So you learn to utilize your chaos for your benefit and your growth. So how does one become a god? You don't become a god, first and foremost. Let's discuss what is not a god. A god is not somebody who walks around boasting, bragging, saying, I am God. Because if I have to remind you every 5 seconds that I am God, then who are you really trying to convince? Me or yourself? Usually it's yourself that you're trying to convince if you have to keep repeating something to me over and over and over. Give you an example. People constantly will say, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. I'm Puerto Rican, Puerto Rican. I'm Dominican, I'm Haitian, Haitian, whatever. Okay, that's obvious when I look at you and you have on a whole freaking Puerto Rico flag, Puerto Rico shirt, pants, all kinds of shit. Hello, who the hell are you trying to convince? I already see that. Are you trying to convince me or yourself? Usually it's yourself because you're going overboard to the extreme. Okay? Which means you're still not really sure. Yeah, you know you're Puerto Rican, but you're not really sure the depth of what it means to be Puerto Rican. Or you got to constantly tell me I'm black, 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 black. I'm African American. I'm black, 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 whatever. Great. Who are you trying to convince? I know this already. Obviously, you're still not sure within yourself. Otherwise, I don't have to keep promoting that which I'm trying to say I am. Your actions should do the talking. The way you carry yourself should do the talking. A God usually does not speak a lot. They're silent a lot. They observe a lot. On these videos, I talk a lot because it's a lecture. It's a question and answer format. Outside of that, I do not speak a lot unless I converse with you on the phone or things like that. I'm usually very quiet and I'm observing everything. Why is it important to observe and stop running our mouths? Because when you observe, you're able to notice things and be aware of things that could be beneficial or detrimental to you, and you are before cause and effect. You're not wrapped up in the cause and effect of what's happening. You are before cause and effect. So that in itself is one reason to be silent. Second is process the diarrhea. Hold on. It's hot as fuck, and I gotta turn on this fan here. Second, process the diarrhea that comes out of people's mouths. That's why I stay silent a lot. I hear the diarrhea coming out of a person's mouth. And 9 times out of 10, I will just shake my head and say, oh, here we go again. Okay? To be a God is to be responsible. Be responsible for all your ways and actions, for all of your choices. Here's what gets tricky about that. Our first tendency as human beings, specifically, is to play the victim role, blame somebody else, as if we did not open the door for our ass to get shafted up the ass without grease. Okay? Your choices is what opened the door for your present day situation. You have no one to blame but yourself. Sure, if that person violated you and did all that, yes, they are responsible for their shit and only their shit. But if you open the door for them to shit on you, then you are responsible for them shitting on you because you could have closed the door. Now, don't tell me you didn't see this mother effer beforehand. What happened is 9 times out of 10, people are so infatuated with this individual in front of them that they turn a blind eye to what their intuition is telling them, or that gut feeling is telling them, or they close their ears to what that person's really saying. Now, let me get this straight. I'm going to just say this now. I don't care if you agree or not, but from my experiences walking this planet as long as I have, you cannot, I don't give a damn what anybody tells me, you cannot fall in love with somebody in the first 2 minutes. You can be infatuated with that person first 2 minutes, but 9 times out of 10, what you're feeling in those first 2 minutes, first few months, first year, first 2 years, what you're really feeling is lust. Lust, lust. And until you get that first nut or orgasm or whatever you want to call it out the way, you really don't know who you're dealing with, and you really don't know how you feel about them. Sorry if this messes up some of y'all egos, but the reality is, when you get that first nut out the way, you wake up and you'll realize, and you look at this person, you say, oh shit, I don't know if I want to stay with this. Because you start to see them for who they are, and they see you for who you are. Now, if there's many beautiful things about you after that first nut, then y'all maybe have a chance to work into a relationship. But people, please do not tell me that you fall in love in the first year and you still really don't know a damn thing about a person. From my experience, it takes me 5 years or more before I really could trust a person, one. Two, before I really open and feel their so-called love for me and mine for them. I'm not going off of this BS because you tell me all the time. Show me by action. Don't tell me things. Show me by action. So a God is responsible for all their ways and actions, all their choices. They take responsibility. No matter how bad you effed up, no matter how bad you fell, it was your choice. You opened the door for that. Can you take responsibility for the shitty ass relationships you've had? Can you take responsibility for being an effed up parent? Can you take responsibility for your treacherous ways? Can you take responsibility for your perversions? Can you take responsibility for your over sexing? Can you take responsibility for these things? Because if you can, then you can start working towards the level of becoming a God, meaning you start to have an awakening of the self, a true awakening of the self. Not, oh, look at how gorgeous I am, or, oh, wow, I have, whatever. It's an inner awakening of yourself, and it's not pretty. Whoever tells you awakening is a pretty thing is a damn liar. They're feeding you garbage, and they're trying to put you under a fucking hypnotic spell so that you could keep paying them or feeding their habits or whatever the case may be. It's a pain. You're going to experience a lot of pain when you wake up to self. Because at that moment, when you start to wake up, you'll start to realize how much bullshit you've really done in your life. You'll start to wake up not only to the bullshit you've done, but your habitual patterns. You'll start to wake up to the wounded child that is within. You'll start to wake up to the hurt and pain you've inflicted, not just on other people, but the hurt and pain you inflicted upon yourself because you didn't deal with your trauma. You didn't deal with your issue. You didn't deal with your pain, your suffering that was either handed to you from childhood situations or experiences or developed over time to get worse and worse. When you can take responsibility for that, then you can start becoming a God. Don't tell me you're a God and you broke. I don't care about what these conscious coons say or these super spiritual idiots say. There is no way in hell you have to be broke to be spiritual. That concept comes from the East. And what I mean by the East is that much of this poor broke mentality concept comes from India and the gurus and swamis and people like that who go up to the mountains and meditate and smell because they don't shower for months at a time and they don't eat and think you got to starve yourself. Listen, no. Bullshit and no. That's fucking extreme and another way to run from your problems because you're seeking super enlightenment outside of yourself to submerge or submit to some god or universe or something to do what? To do what? To lose your sense of self, to lose your identity, to merge into this allness, to this oneness, to this universeness. Basically, you're a slave. Cut it however you want. You can tell me all this fairy tale, all this religious crap. You are a slave because you basically are saying you have no anything but to submerge into God, into Allah, into Yahweh, Jehovah, into Brahma, into all these concepts, to the all, to the universe, which is all a part of never freaking taking responsibility for your life, your ways, your actions, because you're constantly seeking to merge into something, constantly seeking someone to save you, constantly seeking someone to help you, constantly seeking someone to. No, that still keeps you under a slave mentality, still keeps you worshiping, still keeps you begging for help. You do not have to be broke. On the left-hand path, trust. We become God over self because we take responsibility for all our ways and actions, and we seek to basically be fruitful, meaning you seek perfection over self. You seek to master this physical plane first. Problem with the right-hand path and religious people is they want to go Spookville and merge into oneness and allness into some hypothetical existence or hypothetical dimension and never deal with the fact that you're in the physical. Master the physical first before you go Spookville and try to master spiritual things. They'll jump from root chakra, bypass root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, brow, and want to go all the way to the crown and just bypass all that ish and go crown and Spookville. Those are the people that go out there and never come back. They straight veg out. Because the reality is you're in the physical. And if you're in the physical, you have to survive in the physical. To survive in the physical, unfortunately, in today's world, you need some substance, whether it's commodities, okay, like gold, diamonds, and things like that, which unfortunately a lot of us do not have ability to get our hands on in a mass amount to be able to put a monetary sum on it. Or you have to have land to grow your own food, to have your own food that you can readily pick from the ground or whatever your style of food or diet is. You have to have something. Something. If you don't have something in today's world, you're a slave. You're basically working for other people, constantly being a slave. Not saying you shouldn't be working, because that's another cop out these conscious coons use. No. If you have to work with the intention of eventually becoming free of having to work for other people and create something you can be a master over, a business owner over. Self-deification, glorifying the self to become a god. Okay? But with that comes the other aspect. You glorify yourself not to just be a god, but you glorify the part of yourself that is most hidden, most discarded, and most embarrassing. And you learn to raise that up and utilize those aspects of yourself to become a strength, to utilize that as your strength. You don't go around saying chaos is evil, chaos is wrong. Oh my God, let me run from chaos. Oh, it's Mercury retrograde. All hell is gonna break loose. Nigga, if you believe in Mercury retrograde and planetary retrogrades and all this is affecting you, you ain't a god. You still think some external force is controlling you or affecting you. I'm not saying the planets don't have some kind of effect on you. They do. But your mind is stronger than any external influence that can possibly be that you can possibly subject yourself to. That is being a god over self. That is taking responsibility over self, and that is being a productive person, creating opportunities for you to be independent, not making excuses. God is going to provide for me. Jesus is going to provide for me. Jesus is going to provide for me. Amin Ra is going to provide for me. Hey, Ru's going to provide. The fuck out of here. When did the Neptune become fucking spook deities, dude? This is the stupidity that people constantly repeat and constantly promote, which keeps people back under slavery, mental slavery, which is worse than physical slavery because you can see the chains and you can find a way to break them. But mental slavery is worse because you can't see the chains that are binding you. And trust me, we are, a lot of us to a point, still have some form of mental slavery there. If you didn't, what the hell would be the purpose of you still being here? Every day of your life, till you cease to exist in the physical, you're going to be working to breaking the chains that bind you, mental chains that bind you. This is not an easy thing. So you become like a Set, like I said, who slayed a pet, which is symbolic of chaos. We are, in fact, first and foremost, you are, in fact, an isolate intelligence. What does that mean, an isolate intelligence? It means you isolate yourself from the collective conscious and the collective unconscious. The collective conscious and unconscious, more so the collective conscious, which are the herd, the sheep, who all want to merge into the universe, who all want to do this and that external crap, this and that and dish and that. Okay? Everything is something help me, God's help me, Netaru help me, Orisha help me, so on and so forth. But the helping hand you've been looking for your whole life is right here, the end of your own arm, this hand right here. You're the only one that could do this for you. And you've always been the only one that could do it for you. And if anybody tells you otherwise, run. Run, because they're trying to control you. They're trying to make you a slave, and they're trying to keep you under their bondage. Okay? Don't tell me, oh, just, the white people are programming you and it's just white society and white supremacy, when our own people do this shit to ourselves. Okay? I was a part of Dr. York's bullshit and Wapian movement. All right? I saw the mental slavery that he put on people, the dependency he put on people. So don't think it can't happen, because it can, because people do it to each other all the time. This is why I always say this is my philosophy, and I've been living this philosophy since way back in the 90s. And some brothers can attest to this. They've always heard me say this. When we used to be in the lodge, Freemasonic lodge, I used to always say this. Okay? As a worshipful master, I used to always tell them, you either are a master or you are a slave. A master or a servant. Which one you choose to be? I chose to be a master. I don't choose to be a servant. This is why I work for myself. Why do you think I don't charge y'all for anything? The only thing I may charge y'all for is if I do a reading. That's different, because that's more intense spiritual work. That's a different thing. That's about it. A reading or consultation. Outside of that, when I set up these classes, the curriculum is complete. I'm not charging y'all a red damn cent. I have my own 2 businesses. I used to just run one and own one. Now I have 2. This is why I'm busy constantly. This is why I can't always respond to y'all right away. because I'm running 2 businesses. The second business is going to benefit a lot of y'all. You'll be surprised by the end of this month, beginning of next month, when it pops off. It's going to benefit a lot of y'all. All right? So, as an isolated consciousness, we exist separate from the chaos of the objective universe, the external universe, and can in fact manipulate the infinite possibilities of chaos to our advantage, to our benefit, rather than surrender to them. That's a mouthful, so I'm going to repeat it again. The whole thing again. From the left-hand path perspective, and using one of the myths of Set, Setech, Sutech, who slayed a pep, which is symbolic of chaos, we are in fact an isolate intelligence, which exists separate from the chaos of the objective universe and can in fact manipulate the infinite possibilities of chaos rather than surrender to them. You are in control. And if you learn to be a master and be before the cause and the effect, then you learn to manipulate energy, chaos, or other things to your advantage. So you have the choice. You have the choice to be a god over self, a master, or to be a servant and continue following the ways of the people, which leads me to the second part. Excuse me if I keep butchering this word, but my first language, y'all, was Spanish. All right? I did not learn English, so I went to school. And back at that time, back then, it wasn't this millennia, it was back in the other millennia, okay? Back in that time, they didn't have bilingual programs like they do now in school. So basically, I was forced to learn to speak English, which in time I started losing much of my Spanish. Although I could speak Spanish pretty good, I'm not totally fluent. I would say like 80%. I could speak it, read it, write it. But I still have some of the Spanish language aspects of me. So certain words, when I try to say it in English, not happening. All right? Just so y'all know. So let me say this word, and don't laugh if I mess this up again, y'all. Antinomianism. There you go. All right. What is antinomianism? Going against the grain or laws of a system or belief structure. By not accepting all that is presented by that system, society, or culture. And utilizing parts of that which you're going against according to your own individual needs. Going against the grain. How many of y'all would say that you go against the grain of society? Now, some of y'all gonna agree and say, yeah, I do. I try to do my best not to go how society tells me and work the way society does, and I go against society, yeah? Well, I got news for you. Let me show you how deep this thing is, right? How easily we can be thinking we're going against grain. Okay? And you're still really not. All right? Question everything you do. Question everything you do and see if it's still part of the programming. What was today's homework? Yeah. I don't think I forgot. Just because I'm rambling does not mean I forgot. We're going to get to that towards the end. Some of y'all who've done it, cool. Bet you a lot of y'all didn't do it. But anyways, whatever. Okay? Here's the deal. Next time you're driving down the street and you get a fit of hunger and you look over and you look all left and right, does the idea of something to eat all of a sudden become more stronger or strengthened when you see certain places? You could see a pizza shop. You normally don't eat pizza, but all of a sudden, just because you're hungry, you see a pizza shop. You see the symbol on the pizza shop. You see the colors on the pizza shop. Why do they use red and white in a lot of these restaurants? People, why? Why? Think about it. Red is one of the fastest colors in the visual light spectrum. And it connects with your root chakra, your survival chakra, your instinctual self. Yeah, you don't think they notice? People who do advertisements and marketing and signage and signs, they know these things. This is why businesses always use certain kind of colors, because they know what effects these colors have and what it triggers within the hippocampus area of your brain. The hippocampus area of your brain is a part of that brain that records everything, records and plays it back. Okay? It takes all these things into account, and it's almost like a recorder. And then when it sees that color, that sign, that everything, it activates and triggers certain parts of your brain that connect with certain hormones that can either trigger hunger, sexuality, anger, happiness, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So if you're riding down the street, you chilling, you kicking back or to the left, however, whichever one y'all pick. I usually kick to the right. Some of y'all kick to the left. Most times to the right. I don't know why, but that's just my shit. Anyways, all right, you got your music. You got the booms on there. You riding down. See how quick you go from damn, I want to get that, knowing you shouldn't possibly eat that shit. Okay? You still all of a sudden get this binge of hunger for that very thing you shouldn't eat, because that very color, that very advertisement and sign got into your subconscious mind. Yeah, we're still programmed to a way. That's society. And you still have to keep addressing those parts of yourself, because it's that simple sometimes to get into your mind. We do not realize that. But you can use this to your advantage. How? Okay. You're trying to get somebody's attention. Let's say you're working. And you see someone of interest at that job. You notice that when you wear this certain color, this person shows more interest in you. Well, sorcerers and magicians and witches and wizards, what should you do? Yes, you want that attention. You have interest in this individual. You start wearing clothes that you know seem to attract this person when you wear certain kind of colors, certain kind of fits that you put on. That's how you use programming to your advantage. Is that wrong? Hell no. If you think it's wrong, keep it moving. Because in this world, you have the predator and the prey, the master and the servant. You choose to be which one you want. Servants are the ones who are the sheep being led to slaughter. And they're the ones who believe that everything is wrong and evil and nothing's right and this is wrong and I shouldn't do this. Keep thinking like that. See how far shafted up the ass you get without grease. See how far that takes you. See how bad of situations we get in, or messed up situations with that mentality. Some of us know from firsthand experience where that mentality leads. This is why we're here today and other days listening to myself, Beniti, and other brothers and sisters who dropping shit like this. All right? But here's the real deal. When do y'all start dropping this shit so I could come back here and watch you guys? When do y'all become those teachers, those people who share knowledge and information? I really don't call myself a teacher because I'm not. I just share information. I assist people and share things. That's it. But as a teacher, nah, fuck that. I don't want that title. I don't like titles. Programming. Why is it that people always feel they have to have titles? Yes, I'm, Ankh Amun Bey, the meticulous one. Or I am the warrior, Heru Huti Rara. Why do you feel you have to have titles? Why do you have to be the dark, mysterious one? Why do you have to be the big nipple one? I mean, why do you have to have any title? See, that's a part of programming because we think we're breaking free and becoming an isolated consciousness, but then what we're doing is trying to redefine ourselves for other people to make sense of who and what you are, when all that matters is you make sense of who and what you are. You don't need to be the vampiric goddess or the dark goddess or the celestial, divine, angelic. Fuck out of here. All that shit is not necessary. Just be you. Be you. You don't need all these extracurricular titles and all this trimmings. Just be you. Can you just be you? I'm saying, can you just be you? So, how do you keep going against the grain? Question everything you do. If I have to watch television, if I just feel like I have to, I can't fight it. You're programmed. I didn't say that you shouldn't watch television. Don't get this extreme, twisted, conscious coon crap. Get it out of there, because I'm not rolling with that. I'm saying when you can't fight the feeling that you have to watch something, not that you choose to watch something, you're programmed. There's a difference. If I choose to watch something, cool, but I'm watching it on my own terms, my own time, when I feel I want to. If I don't feel like I want to, I don't have to. But if you feel you have to tune in every damn Thursday or Tuesday to watch Love and Hip Hop, no, son, you're brainwashed or programmed. If you can't fight the feeling, you're programmed. Okay? Now, if you feel like you the god over yourself and I don't have to, and you go a month without watching it, and then you say, you know what, I'm going to watch a couple episodes on your terms. You can't tell me you can't do that nowadays with DVRs and streaming and all this shit. You got the opportunity to go watch everything. Okay? But if you feel like, oh, damn, I have to, I just got to be there Thursday night, yo. I got to find out what happens with Stevie J and all this bullshit. Who gives a shit? Stevie J is not paying my bills. All right? He's not paying my bills. So question yourself on your programming. How programmed are you? In relationships, do you feel you still have to fit a title? What I mean by that is this. Do you feel that you still have to be a wife or a husband? And if you do, what are the expectations you put on those titles that you take in a relationship? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the number one failure of relationships is not infidelity. You may think it's infidelity, cheating, whatever the hell you want to call it. No, it's not. The number one reason relationships fail is unrealistic expectations. You put unrealistic expectations on each other, on your partner, as if, as a man, I'm never going to look at another woman again because I married you, I'm in a relationship with you, or whatever the hell may be. is you stupid. I'm just saying. Because as a human being, your nature is to always look at things that are attractive. I'm not just talking about other people. You look at shiny, attractive cars, jewelry, clothes. You're always gonna look at shit. That's how our eyes wander, because we're attracted to things around us. Okay? But because I'm looking at this female, does that mean I want to have sex with her? Maybe. But most likely no. I'm just being real. Maybe. Come on now. Don't lie to yourselves. I'm just saying. But does it mean I have to execute if it's a maybe? Or I'm just looking because she looked good, but that doesn't mean I have to hit it, smash it, whatever the hell case. That just means it's nice eye candy to look at. That's it. Doesn't mean she got to become a jump off or none of that. But that's how we think. Because we have insecurities and doubts within ourselves. So if somebody's looking or checking somebody else, they got to be cheating on me. Programming. Now it's relationship programming. How do you get relationship programming? Your family, religion teaches you expectations in relationships. Movies, worst. And even worse than movies to program what relationships should be like, goddamn soap operas. That's the effing worst. And many people still don't realize how brainwashed they are from childhood when they used to watch some soap operas with their mama or sometimes their daddy too. Because my daddy was one of them fools who worked 3 to 11 at night. But before he left, you best believe he was watching Young and the Restless and As the World Turns. And I used to get so mad hearing that damn music come on. I still can hear that shit to this day. You see how bad programming is? I can still hear that freaking piano playing. Whew. Anyways. And this is the unrealistic expectations that come out of these movies, these relationship movies, these religious relationship expectations. You fail. You're failing yourself first and foremost because you put an unrealistic expectation on someone else. Stop it. Be realistic. They're going to look at someone else. Whether you're a male or female, you're going to look at someone else. That doesn't mean you have to do it. Okay? If you choose to do it, be open and honest with your partner. And give them the opportunity to either say, I'm rolling with you with this, or I ain't feeling that. If you ain't feeling it, you cut ties, you go your own ways before somebody gets hurt. So you don't have to do that sneaky shit. Just be open and honest and real. Stop with the programming that you have to be sneaky, dirty, and a dog. Okay? And women have to be this way. That's control. And that's how they keep you under master control. All right? Question your programming. Are you really going against the grain? Are you still following religion, culture, or society? Because if you are, you still haven't progressed as much as you may think you have. You're still under some level of control. You're still under some level of influence that you're allowing to continue to program you and control you. But can you really stand back and really analyze yourself and say, you know what? They got me on that one. They really got me on that one. I'm really still controlled when it comes to this. They got me. And it's true. You still may be controlled in some way. Can you be honest enough with yourself? Can you be honest enough with yourself when you do this? Because if you could be honest enough with yourself, then you can be honest enough to get over the programming. All right. Now, here's a little self-initiation. Creating your own self as a god. If you are, this is a question, if you are exactly where you want to be in your life and have been there for a long time with no dream unfulfilled, now would be a good time to say to yourself, hey, what the fuck is wrong with me? Now you may say, wait a second, what does that mean? Just listen. Say to yourself on paper what it is that keeps you from reaching your next goal in life. If you don't have any goals right now in life, you're basically a slave. There should be somewhere, somehow, a goal still left for you to accomplish. One of the greatest goals you can still try to accomplish every day, challenge yourself to be greater than you were yesterday. Challenge yourself to be greater than you were yesterday. Every day you wake up, you should try to be better than you were yesterday. You should challenge yourself to do things to be better than you were the other day. Whatever that is in your personal life, challenge yourself to be better than you were. That's a goal that everybody should have every day. If it's financial, you add that to the process. What am I doing today to get to the financial level I want to be? If it's spiritual, what am I doing today to get to the spiritual level I want to be? If it's a seduction thing, what am I doing today to seduce this person that I want so bad today that I didn't do yesterday? What am I doing? If it's a new car you want, what am I doing to get that new car that I didn't do yesterday? Challenge yourself every day to do something. So say to yourself on paper what it is that keeps you from reaching your next goal in life. I'm going to say it again so y'all have time to write this, or whatever the case may be. Say to yourself on paper what it is that keeps you from reaching your next goal in life. If you can't come up with anything after evaluating your life, then you have probably reached a well-needed mundane vacation. If you come back and say, I drink too much, some of y'all may. I need better looking clothes, some of y'all may want that too. I want to beat down this world, let it stop beating me down. Then realize this, there's plenty of time for sleeping when you're dead. A friend of mine named Chuck said this. Is there something you want that would be worthwhile getting out of bed for today or every day? Again, what is that question? Is there something you want that would be worthwhile for you to get out of bed today and every day? Cast spells often. As long as something within you does not feel that you are doing something contrary to what you would or will, then cast your spells every day to get what you want. Why? Well, spells are not just a mechanism, a system, or methodology to obtain external things. Spells are also essential to reprogramming and deconditioning your mind, particularly your subconscious mind. Spells are essential. I'll say it again. Spell or casting spells or doing rituals are essential to reprogramming and deconditioning your subconscious mind. This is why I utilize Set, Sutech, Sitech a lot in ritual work, because it represents the individuated or isolated consciousness. It represents mastering my personal chaos, my wounds, my trauma, my pain, my anger, my hatred, my whatever that sometimes can rule me, become overbearing, and create habitual patterns. I utilize rituals working with Set to master and control that very aspect of myself, to master and control the weaker part of myself and learn to turn some of those things into a strength that can benefit me. Some of y'all may say, well, how can I turn a weakness into a strength? Simple. If I have an anger problem, instead of directing my anger externally at someone else, I direct that anger internally at myself for not accomplishing my goals or my task or my chores for the day. Why? Because when you're angry, it gives you pinpointed focus. All the external distractions cease to exist when you're very angry and your focal point becomes pinpointed. You learn to take that weakness of anger and stop externalizing it and turning it inward to accomplish the goals and tasks at hand. It's just one example on how to take a weakness and turn it into a strength. There's rituals you can work for that. Set Satek is perfect. Set Satek allowed chaos to consume itself for a time, to eventually rise up from that, to learn to slay or control that chaos and use it and manipulate it for benefits and growth. So work your shit every day. Do not make an excuse. If you ain't got where you got, if you haven't gotten what you want to and haven't gotten to the level you want to, work it. Work it, work it, work it, work it. Yeah, it's one of them songs, but anyway. Try to figure out what song that is. Anyways. Realize this is your time to claim your destiny. Your time to claim being a god and take over your personal world, your subjective world, and how it influences your objective world, Kali style. You know what Kali style is? Yeah, that destructive, rageful warrior energy that consumes your weaknesses, your obstacles, your blockages, and uses it to empower self and uses that sword, that curved sword, to slice the shit out the way and accomplish your goals with no excuse. Straight warrior energy to accomplish your goals. You cannot be passive, y'all. To accomplish your goals, you're going to have to exercise that warrior energy. You're going to have to exercise and tap into divine masculine warrior energy like Shango, Ogun, Set, Heru, or the feminine like Sekhmet, Kali, Lilith. You're going to have to be able to tap into that. If you're too fluffy, too scary, you might need to keep it moving. You can't pacify your stupidity. You can't pacify your chaos. You can't pacify your trauma and wounds. You've done that long enough, and all it brought you was depression and sadness and misery. It's time to be a warrior. Use that emotion. Turn it into anger and overcome your shit. Work them rituals, y'all. I have buku rituals for Kali and Lilith. Some of the shit for Lilith is too X-rated for some of y'all. Some of y'all are still too innocent, so I can't really share that with some of y'all. I'm just playing. All you gotta do is ask. But I'm telling you now, that shit's X-rated. So if whatever happens from it, that's up to y'all. All right. I got buku rituals I can share, but I don't always share, and I'll tell you why. Because it's my rituals. Y'all got to create your own rituals. I can share, and you could create a ritual out of what you see. You might get ideas or be sparked to create some shit. All right? But you still essentially got to create your own shit, even if I share some shit with you. You could try it out the way it is and then tweak it and change it to what works best. I'm just saying, you got to work your rituals, man. And also, let me say this. On the left-hand path, a lot of people do not meditate. You still got to meditate in the left-hand path. It's just a different level of meditation. Okay? Instead of transcendental and all that shit, you're doing more of an introspective meditation, an active meditation, meaning you don't take the thoughts, see them, and then swipe them like you're swiping your phone. It means the thought arises, you go deep into that thought, understand the root, the cause, and the issues of your life. The root cause and issues of your life. You go straight into that when it arises in meditation. You don't run from it. You don't say, "Oh, let me breathe it away. Let me meditate." No, you go deep into that. That's a different kind of meditation on the left-hand path, but it's essential to do. Go deep into that type of meditation, introspective, active meditation. It's profound and it'll help you. All right? Keep that in mind, y'all. All right. So we don't reach the portion where we taking questions, y'all. So what's the questions? Hit me, y'all. What? Okay, girl. I love fucking with your name. That's why I always say it like that. Girl. Anyways. All right. Nope. You don't need to start with guided meditations, because then if you do guided meditations, that's somebody else's external shit influencing you. I'm going to give you the trick. Girl, here's how you do it. Relax your body. Some of y'all's difficult to relax your body because you're in a stressful, intense environment. The way you relax your body is breathe into it. For example, let's say my arm is tense. You visualize while your eyes are closed or however you want to do it. Some of y'all meditate with your eyes open. What's good is good. And you visualize your arm relaxing and you breathe into it, meaning in your nose, out your mouth, and you feel your arm relaxing. And you relax your whole body like that. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing for y'all. That's just an example. All right? Then, if you feel distracted, like your mind is everywhere and it's just bouncy, and then all you're thinking about is that fat ass y'all dude saw the other day, or you're thinking of a sexy dude, or you're thinking of I gotta cook, or whatever. The way you get from all these thousands of distractive thoughts to narrow it down to the important shit that rises up is whenever you feel like you're all over the place, concentrate on your breathing. All right? So if your mind's everywhere, breathe deeply, exhale out your mouth, and focus on your breathing. Like literally focus on your breathing, meaning you hear your breathing, you feel your breathing. Focus on that, and you'll feel your thoughts less scattered. All right? So that's an example. You can do it yourself. The guided meditation shit, I don't trust. Because some of these people could put you under a hypnotic spell, and you may not even realize that shit, yo. I'm just being dead ass. You may not even realize that shit. This person can literally be spellbinding you, and it sounds so magical and mystical. Their voices are soothing, the music's soothing. Listen, BS shit, okay? Because music can also be hypnotic and put you under a spell. So do it yourself. Work through it yourself. Master that shit yourself, okay? Because if you rely on others, you're taking chances. And what we're trying to get people to on this left-hand path is to master yourself. Master yourself, challenge yourself, reach your own potentials, reach your levels yourself. All right? All right, girl. You do that tonight. And let me know in about a week's time. Sounds good, girl? All right. Any other questions? All right, so I see somebody says, does that mean to be mean? Let me just say this real quick. All right, let me just say this, and I'm going to take the next question by Shamanic Mystic 1. Have y'all ever looked, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to type this word in all capital letters. Have y'all ever looked up the etymology of that word? Nice. Have you? Be honest, because I bet you a good amount of y'all have never looked up the etymology of that word. Okay? So I'm going to give you what the etymology of the word nice means. And I'm going to show you how they twist it. All right? Here we go. Oh, motherfucker. Give me a second. All right, hold on. It's not working. God damn it. It won't let me cut and paste. All right, I'll just read it to y'all because this damn thing don't let me cut and paste. So here's what the etymology of the word nice means, which is an adjective. Foolish, stupid, senseless, careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, silly, foolish, ignorant, unaware, not knowing. All right? Now, why is that important? Because words can spellbind you. When you were learning in school, they said, little Chrissy, come up here and spell your name. Spell, which is the same meaning as spell, like casting a spell. And we don't have a clue the origins and meanings of a lot of these words. So while they're trying to convince you to be nice, they're shafting you in the back without grease. Because we're so caught up on being nice and don't realize that being nice is being ignorant. So we're ignorantly being fooled to be nice while they shaft you. Listen, I'm going to say this. Some of y'all know this because you know me personally. I'm going to just use this definition. I'm not a nice person. I'm not a nice person in any sense of the etymology or any sense of the word. Okay? I could be a good person, but I'm not a nice person. If you treat me with respect, I treat you with respect. You disrespect me, I'm taking your ass out. Bottom, case closed. That's how I've lived my life. Will always live my life. I'm my own God. That's my own way of doing things. You got to find your own ways, but that's me. I don't play this. You're supposed to just be nice and do all these lovely things. Bullshit. All right? Because all these people that constantly trying to be nice are getting shafted and plugged up, and they got anal beads up their ass, and they're pulling that shit out. Oh, did I say some freaky shit? Oh, my bad. Anyways, so listen. Understand now. That's how they play the game on people. Treat people how they treat you. You know how people always say, oh, no, treat people the way you want to be treated? Bull fucking shit. I'm gonna tell you why I say that shit. Because I've treated people the way I wanted to be treated. They still shitted on you. Okay? I learned the hard way. If you respect me, this is it. It's the one thing I live by. You respect me, I respect you. I don't give a damn if you're younger than me or older than me. I don't care if you call yourself an elder or you're a youth. Okay? That shit is irrelevant to me. I don't go by cultural conditioning and traditions. If you're an elder and you get slick out your mouth and disrespect me because you think you can, the hammer's coming down. Shango's gonna come out and all this whoop ass gonna happen. I don't play that shit. I don't mean I gotta be violent, but I'm not gonna shut my mouth and just sit there and be mentally and verbally abused just because you think you got some age on me, or that you young and you think you all fucking the shit now because this is y'all time. Fuck out of here. Respect me, I respect you. That's it. Number one rule, my only rule. Respect me, I respect you. Disrespect me, that's it. Take your ass out. Whether I do it through a ritual or you physically want to go there, that's fine. People may not like that. But if more warriors stood up, male and female warriors stood up and governed their life like that, less of the bullshit we dealing with as melanated people would be happening. Y'all saw what happened to Junior, little Junior, the Dominican kid in the Bronx. How these motherfuckers just want to go and slice him because they they identified him as the wrong person and they just butchered this kid, stabbed him up, and motherfuckers just let these people walk right out the store because you scared or whatever. Nah, son. Those people would have been taken out. Freak the cops getting them. They should have been taken out a long time ago. I'm just being real. All this cops and this justice and all bullshit. That justice shit only is for them. That don't work for melanated people most of the time. Y'all know that already. But we still give in to this crap all the time. That shit should have never gone down. If we learn to respect each other, but mostly respect yourself, you wouldn't tolerate half the shit that goes down. And girl, that shit, speaking of that shit, I just saw a video the other day of one of his memorials that they were doing, right? Vigil memorial, candle, whatever the fuck you call that shit. You know what I mean, right? All of a sudden, there was nobody standing by the candles. All of a sudden, the candles just started rolling over and a domino effect came down. That spirit is mad. Junior's pissed off on the other side and he wants justice. And he knows the justice ain't coming from that system. All right? It's coming from us as a people standing up to this black on black, Latino on Latino, whatever. It's all melanated people on melanated people crime. Call it what you want. We do the shit to ourselves too. It's not just white supremacy and police brutality. We do the shit to ourselves, y'all. Respect yourself and respect those who respect you. The minute you disrespect me, you take the ass out. Period. All this niceness and coolness and we gotta be kumbaya and holding hands and loving each other and kissing and listen, nah, not happening. You don't have to be nice. You don't. That doesn't mean you have to be an asshole all the time either. Certain times you're gonna have to be mean. Other times you could be cool. All right? But just be real with yourself. Don't keep getting shafted, y'all. Don't get that plug up there and then not take it out. It's gonna keep happening, and people gotta wake up to this reality. This is why I love the movie Deadpool. Why? Because of all the freaking Marvel movies, that's the only motherfucker that don't play that shit. Y'all know who's seen Deadpool 1 and 2. He doesn't play that shit. All the rest of these guys, we gotta hug and we gotta kiss and we gotta save the world and we gotta do this. And Deadpool's like, what? You took my wife. I'm gonna take your ass out. Now, how many of y'all brothers, if your girl, your fiance, your wife, whatever, your lover, your partner, whatever, is taken out, would not seek revenge? Please. A lot of y'all I know would seek revenge if somebody did that and hurt the person you love and care about. You're gonna seek revenge. Deadpool is, although they made him to a Caucasian, he's still symbolic of the mentality that we should have more of than all this other mentality. Yeah, the Black Panther movie was great, but who really had the mentality of a left-hand path warrior? Eric Killmonger, right? Because he's like, yo, y'all been sitting over here in Wakanda living fat and lovely, while the rest of our people are getting abused and tortured and killed the world over. What y'all gonna do about that? Well, I got a plan. I'm gonna empower our people. I'm gonna give them the opportunity and the training and the things needed to overthrow this crap. People are scared. Because when people start talking like that, oh, Killmonger was the bad guy, he was wrong. Nah, if you pay attention to most of these movies, especially the superhero Marvel movies or DC comic movies, the adversary or the so-called bad guy is usually speaking more of the truth than the so-called hero. Okay? They're usually speaking most of the truth than the hero. But we don't realize that, y'all. Because we so caught up in, oh, look, the Avengers and, oh, this and this and that. Listen, I'm sorry to say, y'all may not like this shit, but Thanos was a badass in the Avengers. Infinity Wars. That motherfucker said, sometimes you gotta sacrifice many people for what you're trying to create to be better than what this bullshit is now. Oh no, the lives and the people. Look, man, just be real with yourself. Would you say some people need to be taken out of the picture? Plenty of us know people who should be taken out of the picture. Cousins, aunts, uncles, cousins who are trifling in the family, did trifling shit in the family. We still make excuses for them. I have plenty of them. Some of them fuckers need to go, they just need to go through it, man. But nah, we want to be, sweet and loving and nice. Nah. Eric Killmonger dropped that shit. Thanos dropped that shit. Doctor Strange pussied out. He pussied out. He gave up the fucking Infinity Jewel. He didn't have to, but he pussied out. Oh no, I'm gonna give it up because Iron Man's getting taken out. Dude, maybe it was Iron Man's time to go, dude. So I'm gonna fucking do this shit, and then what is his name? Star Killer. Right? I think it's Star Killer, right? He got emotional because his girl got taken out, and they almost had the glove off of Thanos, which would have ended all shit. If the nigga could just have control his emotions, if he could have just put his emotions in check to after they got the glove off, then destroy the dude, case closed, it would have been a wrap. The dude got emotional at the wrong time, y'all. It's unbelievable, y'all. I'll tell you. All right, what's the next question, man? Hit me with the next question. Yeah, and I get emotional and charged up because I share shit with passion. I've been sharing shit. While y'all coming up with a question, my first lecture I ever did was 1994. Y'all, I may be new to some of y'all, but some of y'all have known me for years. My first lecture I did was 1994. I've been lecturing ever since. And I've been passionate like I was in 1994, like I am today. I'm passionate about sharing stuff to people. Because I didn't have the assistance and help that I tried to provide for other people. I didn't have it in my personal life, so I try to give it to people so that they can do something with it. When did I start getting into knowledge? Oh yeah, damn, shamanic mystic. My bad. Let me go up. I got all caught up in shit. All right. Peace, brother. Thanks for your knowledge. How can you work with deities but still keep your individual identity and self-deified? This has been my struggle in working with the gods. Wonderful question. That shit is a profound question. All right. Let me say this. How do you work with the deities without getting caught up with the deities and losing your self-deity? All right. First of all, Identify what the deity is. A deity is nothing more than an archetype. What is an archetype? According to Carl Jung, it is just something created or a concept uh, by the collective unconscious. It's a concept created by the collective unconscious of a particular attribute, strength, or a goal that individuals could reach or achieve. This is why the world over you have warrior concepts of male, female warrior. You have deities of the dead. World over, you can find that. All right. This is why you have all these concepts that exist the world over, because their collective unconscious created them in their particular nationality, ethnic groups, cultures, or tribes. Okay? They're just an archetype. Do deities or gods exist? Fuck no. This will help you, but I'm sorry if I'm real straightforward and kind of rash with it, but that's just my flow. All right? They don't exist. They exist only in your mind insofar as we accepted what this collective unconscious has either written down as the so-called Bible, which is really the Torah, the Torah, okay, the New Testament, the Quran. I was a Muslim for years, so I studied the Quran in deeply. All right, whether it's the Orisha, okay, whether it's the Neteru, whether it's the Nordic deities, it doesn't matter. Okay? They're just examples of higher characters, attributes, powers, and abilities we all have within naturally. When you realize that if you ever make it to the astral plane, if you already have, then continue working and you'll find this out to be true. When you meet a so-called deity in the astral plane, they take the image of what is stored in your subconscious mind. This is why there's so many goddamn depictions of every deity, thousands of depictions of that one particular deity, because it's what you see in your subconscious mind, depending on your culture, your tradition, your nationality, whatever. However that's depicted in your culture or nationality or group is how you, in so many words, will make that manifest. In essence, it's just an astral amount. It's in the astral. It's an energy fed by the collective unconscious. And this energy has no consciousness other than the energy that we have fed it for thousands or millions of years, and it just sits there. It takes shape, form, and fashion, feeding off of you as an individual, as a group, as a race, as a whatever. It feeds off of your energies that you feed it through prayer, through whatever. But it has no consciousness. Okay? It's just a ball of energy. I'm trying to describe this in things that we may be able to visualize. But if you go to the astral and you get to that level, you'll be able to see it's just a ball of energy. And it takes shape or form depending on what you see. So when you realize that, you realize, okay, it's just, this shit is not real. It's just energy that we fed it as a people, as a race, as a tribe, as a culture, as whatever. All right? I can tap into that energy and use it for me, because it's fed by thousands and millions and billions of human beings for a long time. Second, when you work with the deity, let's say, for example, Anpu, or Anubis, as some of y'all know him, or know it as. What is Anpus? Some say it's a messenger, a guide of the deceased. Okay? It guides you to the scales to be weighed. Then you dig deeper. What else does that mean? What is it symbolic of? Okay? You start to find out it's symbolic of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind that weighs your actions based upon its programming. Meaning your actions is weighed based upon, if you were religious, you had a certain religion, you start to either say, oh, this was negative, or positive or bad or good or whatever, and it comes out in your dreams and you feel guilt because, okay, I did this because of your programming. In essence, what you find is that when you work with Ampu is the perfect archetype to tap into your subconscious mind and tap into your dreams, meaning to be able to dream or lucid dream or things of that nature. Now, when you do the actual ritual, instead of saying, like a lot of these rituals say, oh, hail, Anpu, guide, teacher, wearer of the hearts, whatever. Oh, Ampu, mystified, strong one, all this verbiage we say. Instead of saying externally, oh, Ampu, you so the shit, you the shit, you great, you first person it. What do I mean by that? I am Ampu, master of my own subconscious mind, where of my own actions, weighing my own heart, which in Kemet, the heart wasn't just physical heart, it wasn't the heart just the symbolic of love. The heart was where intellect was the seat of. It was the seat of the intellect was in the heart in Kemet. Okay? I weigh my intellect against my actions, which is the feather. Okay? You start first personing it. I am this. I am that. I have these powers. I have these abilities. And I use this power to tap into my subconscious mind to deal with this problem, to deal with this situation, on and so forth. However you paint the whole trimmings, the attributes. You can even wear the Ampu mask to really, really emphasize it. You can put on the Ampu mask when you do the ritual. And by the way, they have a real nice one on Amazon. A real nice Ampu mask that you can get. All right. You could do the whole ceremonial ritual, but you are Ampu. Stop hailing Ampu. Oh, I love you, Ampu. You're the greatest, Ampu. Can I tickle your nuts? Okay? Stop that. Start becoming Ampu. So when you're doing your ritual, you first person it. I am Ampu. Okay? I guide myself to the Amduat or the Duat, which is my subconscious mind. You understand? You're taking it away from externally throwing it out to internally becoming. I hope that helps answer your question, because this is a question I get quite often. All right? A question I get quite often, that how do I actually do this and still maintain being a God? First of all, realize you're the only God. I didn't say spirits don't exist. But what are spirits? Spirits can be deceased individuals that were flesh and blood at one time. In African traditions and African spiritual systems, like Santeria, Lukumi, Ifa, Palo, Mayembe, Akan, Wolof, all these different tribes have their own different traditional systems, right? In each of those tribes or systems, your ancestors, 9 times out of 10, were flesh and blood beings that were in your blood lineage or tribal group. Okay? They weren't somebody who you never met, somebody who never had a direct influence on your tribe, your group, or whatever, or your family bloodline. Your ancestors were direct blood lineage or tribal contact, meaning could have been the chief of the tribe. Okay, it could have been it could have been the medicine man of the tribe. It could have been the sorcerer or sorceress of the tribe. Okay, that's who your ancestors were. Those are spirits. And sometimes you could tap into wandering spirits that have nothing to do with your bloodline or family. You could either utilize them meaning you're the master, you make them do work for you, or you can send them on their way. Spirits do exist. That's real. Gods, goddesses, deities are not real. I don't give a damn what anybody tells me. They could come, Pastor Porkchop could come tomorrow and try to tell me God exists. I'm going to just look at him, roll my eyes, and say, prove it without using your Bible. His mouth is going to drop, and he's going to say, you're the devil. And I'm going to say, yes, I am. Thank you. Now keep it moving, homeboy. All right? Understand. You have to really first person everything you do in these rituals to realize that you are the God. Keep repeating. That should be a part of your affirmation every day. I am God. I am the God. I am the master over my life. I am the one that controls my life. I am the one that rules my life. I am the master over everything in my life. Okay? Listen, that gets into theology and religion and everything. What I can tell you, girl, is this. Energy always was, will be, and can never be destroyed. You are energy. Energy being. A pure energy being that existed in this universe. One universe out of many universes. Why do I say that? Because there's a multiverse. Multiverses existing. Many universes existing simultaneously. It's not just one universe. Okay? There's many universes existing. And you are a pure energy being within this universe. You obtain consciousness wanting to experience yourself in multiple different lives, life forms, etc., etc. You created yourself. Now they may sound like some hogwash. That may sound crazy. But how crazy is it compared to the fact that God created you, who you never met, and he took the rib out of a man and put it in a woman? But we accept, not you particularly, or all of y'all here, but these are the concepts we accept, but we can't accept the fact that you created yourself as a pure energy being manifesting into physical form, whatever form it is you want to take to experience life as it is, so you can continue expanding your consciousness. I'm just saying. Yes. What did Albert Einstein say? Everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Quantum physics proves that anything and everything is energy. As a matter of fact, girl, bye, let me say this to you. As a matter of fact, according to quantum physics, which is good to study as somebody who practices witchcraft, sorcery, magic, whatever. According to quantum physics, when I look at you, let's say you was in front of me and I was looking at you, okay? In the quantum level, there's multiple yous existing, vibrating at the same time. However, when I put my focus onto you, I see the one that is vibrating on this dimension, this vibrational frequency on this in this planet. I see that one that's existing here, but multiple forms of you are vibrating simultaneously in different dimensions at the same time. Don't believe me? Study some quantum physics. Check it out. It'll help you a lot. Trust. It will help you a lot. Yes. What the bleep do we know is a good movie for that. Well, excellent movie for that. You can find it on YouTube, I think, still. All right? Please check that. That is the reality. This is why I always will try to share in these videos, study science. You can do witchcraft, sorcery, and all that without science. But if you really want to know what you're doing and be a master and strong over it, study science. And you will know how powerful you can be and how things really work. All right? Well, listen, shamanic mystic, when I first started my path, I'm going to say this, y'all. What got me into consciousness was way back in 1987. Yeah, drop your jaws, y'all. 1987. I was 16 years old at that time. And I heard KRS-One, You Must Learn, on his second album, okay, which is By Any Means Necessary. And in that album, in that particular song, You Must Learn, he was dropping some shit. Then in and around that time, Brother Rakim came out. Rakim was a 5%er, all right? Nation of Gods and Earth, which is one of the first things I ever really studied and got involved with was the Nation of Gods and Earth. All right? So I started my journey in 1987. That's when I first got the spark of consciousness to become more aware of external things. The internal took years later, okay? So during that time, I got down with Nation of Gods and Earth, Nation of Islam, and then I became Ansaru Allah, okay? And I did that for years with the Nawapian thing for years, all right? Simultaneously, a lot of times while I was in that, I would study other things. In 1998, I started really getting back in touch with Santeria. I didn't really get initiated anything. I just started getting in touch, started connecting with family who practiced it, started studying more about it. About 2002 or 3, I got into Santeria, okay? But in 1998, I was doing my first form of magic I was practicing was Egyptian magic. There wasn't a lot of books like there are now in Egyptian magic, so I got some of those books, started practicing some of that stuff, and winged a lot of it, all right? And this is around the time I was starting to fade out of Nawapian shit, all right? So during that time, I went to walk the Freemasonic Lodge, became a Master Mason, walked up Jacob's Ladder, became a Worshipful Master, 33rd, you name it. I also, Rosicrucian, etc., etc. A lot of different paths I traveled, all right? Leading me to today. So a lot of this stuff I share with y'all from practical first-hand experience, walking through organizations, different paths, bringing it to y'all so y'all do what y'all want with it. That's not my goal. My goal is for y'all to do what you want with what I share. Some of it can help y'all, some of it, so be it. So long story short, I brought that up because I lost myself when I got into Santeria for a while. The reason I lost myself a lot of times is because everything is Obata. What's funny is I was also crowned Obatala, shamanic mystic. Okay, by the way, I was crowned Obatala, and everything is Obatala this, Obatala that. You got to do a ritual for Obatala here. You got to feed this. You got to feed that. You got to do a misa. You got to do this. Everything is always external shit. Everything is spent on the Orisha. Your whole life is dedicated to the Orisha. Fuck me. Okay. Your whole life is dedicated to the Orisha, and everything is about the Orisha. Okay? So I understand what you mean, shamanic mystic, because me, myself, I was there. All right? So, Dion Levant, perfect. Keep studying on the Rosicrucian path. Let me tell y'all a quick story on this Rosicrucian path, and then XNSW, I'm going to answer your question. All right? There's a lot of individuals who are in the Kemetic conscious community who've written books and who have information out there. And certain individuals like Ra'un Neferamun, all right, who does the Metaneta, will tell you that the Rosicrucians did this, took that, all right? Yet and still, when you get into the higher degrees of the Rosicrucian, particularly the Temple degrees, you start to see that he took a lot of Temple degrees verbatim and used it to create his doctrine. Dr. York did the same thing with the ancient Egyptian order. And a lot of these so-called Kemetic fools have no idea what they're talking about when they talk about Kemet. They understand certain parts of it. Some of them take certain degrees from Rosicrucian, then they leave it. Keep writing. All right? Keep writing and keep learning about Rosicrucian, because there's more shit in there that is beneficial than a lot of these so-called Kemetic fools know. They could diss and say, oh, that's white this and this, and who gives a damn? I don't give a damn if it's a white person giving it to me or not. The reason I tell you that is because if you really know that all this stuff came from us and they took it for a while, then take it back from them. Simple. You don't got to get all crazy with it and point the finger and all this. Just take it back from them. Go in there in your gardener's clothing and sit there and get the knowledge and the shit you need and come back and share with the people who you feel can benefit from it. Period. That's what I did. That's what Brother Beniti did. You understand? But mostly make it benefit you for your growth. All right. So XNSWKKW. Man, I'm happy I didn't try to pronounce that. Anyways. All right, Kensu. Perfect. Because I was about to say, yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. When it comes to Clephothic energies, would it be more wise to invoke and evoke your own Godhead and control them for there, or tap into the energy of a deity like Set? When you work with Clephothic energies, you have to control them. Period. I'm not even going to go on a long dissertation. You have to control that. Because some of this Clephothic energies, especially when you get to Dath, okay, or Da'ath, are elementals that were created by your own mind. And I don't mean the good shit in your mind. I'm talking about fucked up shit in your mind. Because you know when you deal with Clephothic energies, you're dealing with adversarial and darker energies and things that are hidden within yourself. Always remain controlled, because these elementals that are created in those, put it this way, I'll just say this. These elementals can trick your very self because they are created by you. And they can trick you from your own self, your own mind, your own things that you do. So always remain the Godhead. You have to always remain the Godhead in everything you do on the left-hand path. This is why I tell you that individuals who claim to be satanic and then say they're on the left-hand path, bullshit. Let me tell you why. Left-hand path, the number one principle on the left-hand path is self-deification. You're the only God. So how the hell can I be the only God and then say, hail Satan? Hello? Do you understand what I'm saying? Huh? How the hell can I be the only God? I'm God, but hail Satan. It's not left-hand path, y'all. There's no external things that I worship outside of myself. Not even Satan. Not to mention, when you deal with Satan, you're going back to the monotheistic system. You can tell me Satan existed before monotheistic traditions or Christianity, Hebrew, whatever. I don't give a damn. the fact is your subconscious mind still encased within religious programming, and you're utilizing it to try to break it, but you're still staying within the same system. That's control. Controlling, and you're controlled by your own shit. So when you work with the klepothic energies or klepothic, work as if you're the Godhead. Never as if you're another deity trying to work, because the trick comes from within yourself. All right? All right, so where am I at here? Yeah, a lot of Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi has become, in essence, a market for money. 90%, and this is just from my personal experience, 90% of the people who become a Santero, Santera, become a part of Ifa, Lukumi, do it because they have some issues and bullshit in their life, and that's their last savior, so to speak. Meaning they had court issues, they had baby mama drama issues, baby daddy issues, all kinds of issues. People never really join it because they want to join it. They never really join it because they're seeking to understand the spiritual system and how they can use it to grow within themselves. So I understand this whole money making thing because I experienced it myself. This is one of the things that turned me off, and I left because of that. Yes, Rosicrucianism can take your magic to another level, because Rosicrucian is now chemical order, but has an underlying tone of magic. It's just they won't outwardly say that publicly, but it does have an underlying tone of magic in there. Okay, but it is very alchemical. And another thing is, if you want to learn how to really work magic, also study alchemy, because it can help you. All right. So now, Nikki Collins, first and foremost, why the hell would I answer you that? Okay, it's an initiation. I don't have to answer that to you. But if you want to know, it was in Miami. My madrina is in Miami. The same madrina that Beniti has, okay? So, period. Case closed. Anyways. And if you ask that question, the answer is, why do you care? Which means to me that you may still be stuck under some system of Santeria, Lukumi, or Ifa, which I don't deal with anymore. I'm my own God, my own master. So, yes, I have proof. I have witnesses. If you want, you could ask these individuals. Period. All right. So now, okay, good. You took the Palo Mayembe route. That's good. That was good. Excellent. Yes. There's a lot of fake ass people who were Palo and all that. I don't use none of that shit. So it's irrelevant to me. You understand? It's irrelevant to me. Past I walk and experience, but it's in the past. I don't use it anymore. But I can spot people who claim to be into Palo, and you really know they weren't or not, because you can easily ask, is your Tata, can you prove his African lineage? Because most Tatas can prove their African lineage. Whatever house they belong to, the African lineage can be proven all the way back to Africa. Most can't. Okay? So, yeah, I answered your question, Nikki. That's why I don't have a problem answering questions. But like I said, I gave you all a history or lineage of my path so you could understand what led me to today. But trust, everything I've walked, there's proof for it. Okay? Like, for example, my brother, Dion Levant, can attest and verify this. Is all I'll show you. Master monograph, Rosicrucian. Trust me, I have proof for everything I claim. Period. But yes, there's people out here who practice Apollo and all this, and they're acting like they are tatas and can't even prove it. And then some of them will even tell you you don't have to be scratched. Bullshit. Bullshit. You don't actually Nikki Collins, that monograph, not free online. You didn't get to see the whole thing. Most of the monographs that are out there are not the real things. So that's just for you to know. And my brother can verify that. Dion Levant can verify that. Most of the monographs you cannot find online. Those are not the real monographs. Trust. So he just verified it there. All right. So let's get that straight. There's people that can verify all my paths. One thing I learned a long time ago in this conscious community, you can talk all shit all day and night, but if you don't got people who can also verify or witness that you went through things, it's not as that's it, just people talking shit. I'm not out here claiming or saying, okay, I'm gonna get you a FEMA and put it on a shirt, take a FEMA and put it on a shirt, when we know that FEMAs don't work like that. FEMAs usually work in a way that most of these individuals do not understand. And it takes a certain energy to activate it. It's all good, Nikki. You must have missed when I said I teach with passion. So if that comes off offensive, I apologize. But I actually don't apologize. I just teach with passion. You can ask all day and night. It doesn't bother me. So I think somebody else had a question. All right. So how did it work for you when you did the Triad of Darkness? Because that is a powerful ritual to use. J.R. Starseed already Ravana. Okay. All right. Good question, Katir. When you work with that, you will feel an energy. It's an energy. And you will feel an energy. Keep doing the ritual, you will feel the energy, especially when you're invoking an energy. It's not a possession. I'll just say this. Certain traditions, uh, especially African traditions, they could call it riding. They could ride your back. It's riding your back, or people try to call it possession. It's not a possession in the sense of, what do you call that movie? Exorcism? No, that's not like that. All right. You will feel an energy when you invoke it inside. You will feel an energy that expands your consciousness. And you continue to work with this energy. It can expand your consciousness to reach a point of consciousness that your mind starts to tap into the subconscious layers of your buried shit, which is where a lot of your problems sit, so you can bring it back up and deal with it, confront it firsthand, right there, firsthand. So, like, for example, let's say you're working with Kali, which one of the attributes is destruction. All right. You will feel that energy when you invoke it, a strong energy which feels like it's very destructive or warrior like. What that's doing is also helping you destroy the blockages and obstacles within your subconscious mind that are necessary to continue elevating or doing the work. Right? Because when you have blockages or obstacles in your subconscious mind, those blockages and obstacles will keep you from expanding your consciousness or elevating or growing. So it keeps you stuck and you repeating habitual patterns over and over. So what, like if you tap into, let's say, Kali, like I said, that destructive energy will be utilized. You'll feel the energy and it'll help you overcome the obstacle or blockage. You can start receiving messages during the ritual, after the ritual, and in many cases in your dream state. This is why it's good to always have a dream journal next to your bed or wherever you rest at, so that when you receive these messages, you can wake up and write them down so you don't forget. You wake up and write them down so you don't forget. This is important because we tend to forget a lot of our dreams. Not everybody, but case by case, sometimes we tend to forget a large portion of our dreams or only can retain certain parts of our dreams. So it's good that you take it and log it and write it down. Because when you do this, it's like a puzzle being put together of things that you're unraveling, things that are trapped within your subconscious that are now coming to the surface that you have to deal with. And you're able to put the puzzle together to benefit you or help you. Okay? So that is an important step. When you're working, try to do that. And don't give up. Let's say if you're working with Kali after one ritual, keep working the ritual depending on how, let's say, bad your blockages are or what the goal is you're trying to accomplish. Some rituals you have to continuously do over and over. Individuals just try rituals once in a while, do everything every so often, and then they get upset they don't get results. Results takes time and consistent work. You have to be consistent on your work. You have to be vigilant on your work. Because if you're not, then do not get upset if you don't get the results you always are seeking, because you're not consistent or disciplined enough to continue working to get it. All right, so it was really powerful. Always been connected. Second, the line energy. I'm a Leo, so I use her for my destructive force and input as my guide. And set the unknown parts of myself who protects from duad from. Yes, that's beautiful. That's the way to do it. Write your own spells and mantras. Okay, write it. The brother Khensu here works and utilizes the powerful language of Meta. A lot of times when you do your rituals, if you use more of the ancient language, it has more power behind it. English language is a watered down, confusing language. Okay, for some of y'all who had to learn how to speak English, you understand how confusing English can be. Okay, so when you're able to do your rituals in more of an ancient dialect, you have more power behind it. Is it necessary? No, because most of it is the power of your mind, the power of your visualization and imagination. So you can still manifest things without having to always utilize ancient language. But can it be more powerful? Yes. Okay. Many of the rituals I utilize, I try to use, for example, if I'm working with, let's say, C-Tech, or I'm working with Ta or Pata, or I work with Amun, I will try to use Meta Netter in those rituals as well. And it is powerful, trust. All right. So always do your best to at least learn some parts of ancient languages to help within your rituals. Okay. But it's not essential to do or don't. It doesn't mean you're going to hell or you suck because you can't do this. All right. So keep that in mind. It does benefit and it does help, but it's not always necessary. All right. Shamana Mason, regarding ancestors, a lot of melanated people are stuck on that and only practice African traditions. I practice a Celtic Druid path. I'm 9% Irish according to DNA. Yes. All right. Shamanic mystic. Let's build. Let's build. Let's build. It's always good to know your ancestral makeup, your DNA. If you could get a DNA study, it's even better. It will help explain some of the things that you like, some of the things you may be attracted to, some of the things that you've been vibing with. Okay? So, like, for example, I know of an individual, I won't mention his name, but they, for a long time, wanted to know why they felt that they were so attracted to certain things that dealt with European culture and aspect. This person's, by appearance, by their upbringing, is mostly African American, so to speak. And then they came to find out that they had a large percentage from Ireland, just like the brother here, or sister. I always forget shit, goddamn it. I wish they put feminine, male, female on the side so we know. But anyways, so they found this out. And it helped explain why they like rock music. It helped explain why they were connected to the Druids and why they love the movie Lord of the Rings so much and shit like that. It's a part of your DNA. Now, 9 or 10% may not seem a lot, but listen, people. If you say, let's round it off, Shamanic Mystic, to 10%, all right? That means you have 10 people in your family lined up. One of those people was Irish. Okay, it's still not a lot, but that still means that one person there out of 10 was Irish. There's that Irish individual will still have an influence on you. Okay, it's a part. Yeah, there you go. See, that helps. So that helps to know and understand that. For example, I have Taino, which is we're also called Arawak, which is the traditional indigenous people of the islands. Okay, I have African ancestry in me, which comes from Akan, which is in Ghana. I have a percentage that comes from Yoruba in Nigeria, and a percentage that comes from the Congo. Okay, so that's in me as well. Plus, I have Moorish blood. Okay, Moorish blood from the Moors who came into Spain, which explained why I was so passionate into Islam for years, and I was into Sufism and things of that nature, and why when I work jinn magic, it works smoothly for me. Okay. I also had to understand that all these things play a role. Okay. And thus, when I work my magic and I utilize certain paths that my ancestry is awakened, my ancestral DNA to those certain traditions or paths, it becomes even more effective. So learning your DNA is very essential. As an African American, yes, You could be predominantly African, but it's still important to get a DNA study because some people have thought they were whatever, pure African. Then they find out they're only 75% African, the other 25% is European. Yeah. You don't think that European part plays a role? Yes, it does. Plays a big role in a lot of things you do. Okay? So as a brother shamanic mystic or shamanic mystic said, yes, it's important to understand your DNA and the composition of your DNA and how it affects you and how it works into the magic you're working. Because you could be utilized. I'll give you a perfect example. The island my family's from, Puerto Rico. A lot of people there practice Santeria and Palo. But a lot of individuals that practice Santeria and Palo in Puerto Rico, when they find out their DNA, they're not even from the Yoruba tribe or Nigeria. Some of them are from Senegal. It's a little further up north, y'all. Still along the coast, but it's a little further up north. Okay? And they had their own different traditional practice up there. All right? So you got to understand that some of these things we practice may not be in totality what our ancestry was. Can it work? Can it still be effective? Yeah, because it's your willpower and your mind. But it's understanding yourself can also benefit and help you more in your practices and rituals and working out. It can help and benefit you more. All right. True. I'll give you an example to verify what Brother Hansel is saying here. Here's an example. He's Metanetter helps tap into the subconscious mind so the player-hated conscious mind can't tap into with the logical bullshit. Perfect. I'll give you an example. When, let's say I do mantras, and I do some mantras with Kali, and I do the mantra in Sanskrit, okay? I can verify for a fact that it does shut the fucking conscious, distracting, logical bullshit mind up and allow you to bypass the distractions of the conscious mind and tap further into your subconscious mind. Understand that. This is why I did a video a while back on mantras and hikao or hika. Okay, utilizing hikao or mantras so that you can learn to utilize some of these mantras or chants to bypass the distracted conscious mind to tap into the subconscious. When we work on the left-hand path, the majority of our work is going to be on your subconscious mind, on how to deal with the ish inside of your subconscious mind so that you can master the weak parts of yourself to turn them into strengths, to then take those strengths and make them stronger and to become the God over yourself. Okay? That's where a lot of your work is going to come from. It's going to deal with that. It's not so much, oh, I manifested $100, $1,000. Cool. That's good if you did. Much props to you. I've done that myself, and some other individuals in here, I'm sure a lot of y'all have done that. All good. But you can manifest $1,000 in your fucked up mind, blew that $1,000 on some fucking Yeezys like a dumbass and never invested that shit in something that was more beneficial for your growth. So your habitual patterns and problems came back in, even though you manifested $1,000 and you blew that shit as quick as you got it. Do you understand the difference? You understand what I'm trying to tell you? You the master over your shit. But to do that, you're going to have to tap into your subconscious mind. It's not an external thing. It's not wearing the trimmings. Oh, I have African garb on. Look at how lovely and cultural I look. But yet the inside is freaking chaos and straight drama. Okay? It's not about, oh, I'm wearing an imaz and, oh, look, I have the Ankh, and I'm walking with my Ankh, and I have my locks into a lock. I mean, I have my lock shaped into an Ankh, and it's fucking lovely. But are you working to master the self within? What I ask a lot of people who practice the Kemetic path is this. You tell me about Tahuti. You tell me about you tell me the story, the attributes, the meanings, everything. But how do you manifest that energy? How do you become Tahuti? That's what I asked them. Most of them can't give you an answer. See, brother, what you gotta understand is Tahuti is symbolism. I understand symbolism. Symbolism was used by our ancestors to tap into your subconscious mind to awaken certain parts of yourself. How do you become that shit? How do you master that shit? How do you tap into that shit to become a Tahuti and stop giving me the shit, all right, of Tahuti's this and Tahuti's that? And yes, I understand that. How do you become it? How do you become Obatala? Not just I'm Obatala and, I'm the great Obatala, and Obatala's this and Oshun's that, and look at how sexy Oshun is. How do you become Oshun? Stop fucking telling me about the Pataki, the stories. All right? Stop telling me about all that shit. How do you become it? Okay? How do you become that which you're saying you're a part of or becoming connected to? You have to become that. So on the left-hand path, you work to become that. I wasn't trying to disrespect the individual Nick Collins earlier. I'm just being real. What difference does it make if I was in the crown room or not? At this point in time, that shit is irrelevant to me. That's a path. I did that shit. It's done with. There's verification, all that shit for it. I don't care no more. I'm about being this God and not fucking working with anything external and how that shit's gonna manifest. And fucking here's a fucking plate of dinner or here's some fucking pork chops because this is your traditional dish. The fuck is that doing for me? And then looking at the dish and then or let's say I put some liquor or something there and then say, oh, the shit is wow, Shango drank this shit. No, motherfucker, it's called evaporation. Okay? Composition, decomposition, when you put food to different things, it's a fucking natural shit that happens. Shango didn't do a goddamn thing, dude. You understand? It's about getting past the spookism and becoming the God over yourself and stop externalizing everything into some spook deity out there. Some deity that's going to save you. Some deity that's going to give you the answers. Okay? Tap into that shit. No doubt. I did a ritual recently, Hensu, Tahuti. I think I can find it. I'll try to send it to you. You hit me up with your email. I'll give you my email address at the end. But anyways, I did this ritual with Tahuti. And all of a sudden, I did this shit like 3 times. All of a sudden, I was just led to reading this, study this, look at this, tap into this, meditate like this, go into this. Everything was leading me to learning some shit and internalizing it. And that shit just was like, yo, I understand what the Tahuti consciousness is all about, dude. It's about being a God over self and taking control over self in every aspect of your life. It's about you recording your own deeds and understanding your own deeds and actions. It's about you recording and making your own language to manifest. Nikki, like I said, it ain't, if you keep bringing this up, I'm just discussing, talking things. It ain't nothing personal. And I just said it ain't nothing personal directed to you. It's just me discussing things, going over things. All right? That's it. I'm not personalizing you. There's a bunch of people on here. It's not nothing directly at you. I'm more concentrating on these questions than what we talked about 20 minutes ago. Now, so when you work and you personalize these things, then you become these things. you become that which you had projected all your life onto. You start to become these things that we've worshipped. Now you becoming the one who is worshipped, meaning your ways and actions. People look up to you. They see you as being all wise, right, and exact. They see you governing your life, and they want to know, how the hell are you doing this, brother, sister? How can I do it too? How can I manifest that ability too? Because it's in there, but just show them how to overcome their own bullshit, how to overcome that. Give them a step to do, a simple step, like when you wake up in the morning, verify to yourself that you are the master in control of your life, and you're going to control your day to day and lay out the events of your day and make them happen exactly as you saw them. Give them the power, give them the ability to do that shit. You understand? We got to, the individuals who seek this, give it to them. The ones who ain't ready for that, don't want it, so we'll keep it going. Everybody has their role to play. Everybody's going to live their path. Everybody's going to worship what they want, do what they want. That's not my interest. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. What we're trying to do here is share the shit between us so that we can become that, which is the master over self. And it's a harder thing than people think. It's not just claiming I'm a master over self. And I've seen like many videos and many people, and all they say is, oh, I'm self and self this and self that. But that's fine. But they still, you can talk to them and have conversation with them and say, but why are you still waiting for a handout? Why are you still waiting for somebody to help you? I thought you was God. See, that happens to a lot of people. And you got to help them remember that's not, a God takes responsibility for their ways and actions and make shit happen. If we can make shit happen, we make it happen. All right? Last question. I gotta make some dinner soon. I'm hungry as heck. All right, brother JR, you say that you're letting people feed. So question is, what are you doing to build up psychic self-defense? Because there's ways you could protect yourself from allowing people to feed off of your energy. You could use crystals, you could use your mind, there's a lot of different things. When I put my email here, hit me up and I'm gonna send you some stuff that you could do to build psychic self-defense even stronger than you already have it, so that you people do not feed off you. Because there's a way that you could really stop people from feeding off you. Okay, and some of it's crystals, but it's a lot. There's another technique, and is utilizing the telepathic energy. Okay, is utilizing servitors and different things like that. But just hit me up and we'll build on that. If you feel drained sometimes after you've been around a certain person, like really drained, could be that person is feeding off of your energy. All right, could be that they're really feeding off of your energy. So just remember that when you feel really drained after having contact or communication with a person, you feel super drained, but they're the only ones you feel like that around, and everybody else you feel charged up, realize that individual could be draining you. Another way that you could be drained is sex. If a person is not on your same level, they could be draining you because they need your energy to survive. That's why they're trying to get you in the bed, trying to get around you because they need what you got. So they drain you sexually. And that happens to a lot of individuals. They get wrapped up in the lust of things, infatuation of things, and then they get with individuals who are not on their level and they get screwed for it. That individual sucks their energy dry and they wonder why they're acting crazy and foolish in their life. That's because that person is an energy drainer, and they purposely are trying to get with you because you have a fun amount of energy that turns them the F on, makes them super horny, and they have to have it. So they get at you, they get into your they seduce you, they get into your mind, they activate your lust. And when our lust is activated, y'all, what happens? Huh? Yeah, when that lust is activated, we tend to lose our minds and act a fool and do foolish things for foolish people. Then we wonder why we're effed up after we had sex with these individuals. Then we wonder why we're acting out of our norm is because you exchange energy, sexual fluids, and you absorb that sexual fluid, which when you take that DNA from that individual through the sexual fluids, you start to synthesize their behavior within yourself and you acting more like them and don't even realize it. So that's one way they do it. Another way is these individuals always seem to want to be around you but have nothing to contribute to you. They just want to be around you. They just always want to just be there, but they have nothing to contribute to you. That's an energy drainer a lot of times. They just want to take. Listen, if you smoking and you passing and that spit is on there, it can affect you. It's not going to be as strong, but you're exchanging saliva, which there's DNA within your saliva. That's why I tell people who smoke, stop sharing shit all the time and get your own fucking pipe or roll your own blunts. I'm not saying I condone the shit or not. I must make a legal disclaimer here. It is illegal in certain states to smoke marijuana. And here in the state of Florida, medical marijuana is now legal. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't gonna. Y'all do what y'all do. It's all good. Nikki, then you know how powerful that vampiric sex magic is. As a matter of fact, I need to have some. Anyways, that's a different story. No doubt. For some of y'all who may not be aware, there's a book called Vampiric Magic or Vampire Magic Grimoire by Father Sebastian. There's a section there for a sex magic ritual that's powerful as fuck. All right. So let me tell you that shit. Check that out. Also go into Adamu, which is like Luciferian Vampiric Sex Magic by Michael W. Ford. That got some powerful shit. All right. Also get a book called Black Magic. No, not Black Magic. Shit. Black Tantra. I got it, so I can send y'all the PDF out for certain things, but I can tell y'all that. Nikki, no, that shit is on some next level kind of sex magic. It ain't no regular sex magic. That shit is on some next level sex magic. Nikki, verify that shit. Tell them that's next level sex magic. It's not like the regular sex magic. Tell them that's some shit. All right. Yeah, Adamu, that book is fire. It's fire. It's got some fire shit. Um, so when you work in sex magic, though, you got to make sure that these individuals are more on your level than just fucking busting a nut and doing your shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I done seen niggas get fucked up by some of this shit when they work sex magic. Get fucked up because they just had to practice the magic and didn't even take into account, is this motherfucker on a certain kind of level? I mean, you got to have some conscious level if you're going to have sex magic with somebody, because some of these idiots can fuck you up, dude. Like, I'm just saying. So, all right, be aware. Don't just bust off because you're doing a ritual or you need this energy or whatever. Make sure this partner has got some conscious awareness of something, dude. Something. I know some sisters, no names given, that I share some vampiric magic shit and it fucked them up later. And I told them before they did it, I said, make sure this partner is at least on a level of consciousness that can benefit you. Because if it ain't, it can backfire on your ass. When you're dealing with vampiric magic, this is on some next level shit. That's why I don't share it a lot. I do it in personal classes for those individuals who want it. They hit me up personally. But externally, I'm not going to give a lot of that shit out there because niggas be fucking shit up with it. And you wonder why shit's being fucked up. Do not point the finger at us. I ain't taking no responsibility for your bullshit. Okay? So understand that shit. My forte, my shit, is vampiric magic. That's my number one numero uno shit. Alright? That's the shit I work day and night. And vampiric sex magic is on that shit. That's that next level shit. But be careful when you work it. It's not, some people are not going to be able to handle that shit. That's right. Bingo, Nikki. Nikki, are you male, female? I don't fucking like guessing shit. I hate this shit. Wish I knew it was male, female, because I hate saying the wrong thing. Yes, Nikki. I was doing sex magic classes last year, and individuals just, some could handle it, others disappeared because they couldn't handle it. When I tell you some shit backfired on them, it backfired. So, like Nikki says, all right, good, Nikki, good to know, because I hate guessing. I don't know if it's male or female here. If you don't have a picture, I don't know what it is. So I just be safe and be like, try not to guess. But Nikki said it best. Make sure you do your homework. When you especially work vampire magic, make sure you do your homework. Secondly, make sure not only you do your homework on what and how vampire magic works, but do your homework on the candidate that you may have in mind. That motherfucker retarded? Keep it moving. Anyways. And then, like Nikki says, but in general, know how to use, take, and receive energy. Because all that shit is very necessary when you're working vampiric magic. Using, taking, and receiving. It's not just busting a nut. It's not skeeting everywhere. It's not just smashing. Alright? It's more to it than that. I know smashing and skiing and all that shit is so great and squirting. Listen, I'll just be real with y'all. I ain't into the squirting thing. Not happening. Did that shit a couple times. I had a surprise. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story before I finish this shit off, right? Normally I don't share personal shit, but here it go. So I was doing some oral sex with this female. She was a tall Nubian sister. Never had been with a tall woman. I gotta experiment sometimes. So I said, I went a little beyond experimenting. Let me say this: I'm 5'10". You ready? She was 6'3". Huh? Yeah, 6'3". Dude, I had to get up on the sidewalk. She could be on the street. I'm on the sidewalk just to kiss her. That was some unusual shit for me. All right. So, anyways, performing oral sex. She never has squirted before. This the shit that caught me off guard. I'm performing oral sex. Guess what I found out? Yeah, she squirted right in my face. Talk about a wet surprise. Woo, woo. That shit was something else, dude. All over the bed, the sheets, and she kept squirting. Not into that shit. Anyway, that's a side story. All right. Last thing here. Kensu says my favorite thing is binding sigils to succubus and astral. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have quite a few servants that are succubi. I would say I probably got 3 or 4 that I send out to do some of my bidding. And then I also do the astral projection in my vampiric form. Sometimes a lichen or werewolf form. By the way, soon I'm gonna have some vampiric oils and lycotherapy oils and things of that nature for y'all to work some shit. Nah. Sorry, ain't gonna be. Listen, Nikki. Yes, I could or should be into it, but it's just certain shit is not my thing. Some people have certain things that they really feel. That's just not my thing. There's a lot of other things that I do, but it's just not my shit. I just can't flow with it like that. Not happening. All right. Now, listen, I didn't. Is it a powerful organism or orgasm? Because if it's some shit, an organism coming out of there, that's some shit. But just because she did that, I didn't stop. I kept going for a little while. We was kicking it for a few months. So I didn't turn me off or stop. It's just not some shit I'm always into. But trust, I like a lot of crazy shit. Yeah, I hate the spell check too. That fucking shit sucks, man. All right, so anyways, y'all. Here's my email address, darkcultist99@outlook.com. Hit me up for anything. I'm about to get on and popping in the kitchen. I'm hungry as fuck. Any questions, hit me up. Any topics you want to discuss, hit me up. Let's get this on and popping. Well, I get the point, nigga. I got it, man. But any topics or things like that, hit me up. Also, I'm working on a curriculum for a vampiric coven. I think it's time. Some of y'all may agree with this, but I think it's time that melanated people had their own vampiric coven. All right? I think it's time we had our own vampiric coven. That doesn't mean I exclude anybody. It just means that I think it's time we start working shit with melanated people and not always relying or joining other people's shit. If they want to join ours, it's all good. Because I I bring in all people, all races, all colors, nationalities, creeds. But I think it's time we have our own shit on this, all right, and start working it from our perspective, utilizing our melanated energy, because ain't nothing like that melanated woman and melanated gods and goddesses. Ain't nothing like it. Y'all know this already. All right? So hit me up because I'm working on this. I'm going to have levels and degrees to this. All right? I'm going to have levels and degrees to this. That we all going to work this shit together. Rituals, all this stuff. And we're going to start building a vampiric coven because vampirism is ours. Okay? A lot of the original forms of vampirism can be found in Kemet and throughout Africa. All right, it can be found through Sekhmet. It can be found through the Pharaoh Unas. It can be found through a Pep. It can be found through Baron Samedi. Okay, it can be found through the Gede. It can be found through a lot of different traditions. For all y'all who don't know, there's a certain group of Gede or Gede who deal with strictly sexual energy. Strictly sexual energy, and they love to feed off of sexual energy. All right. So just for those who don't know, we're gonna hit all that. All right. So hit me up, y'all. Peace.